Hey guys, today I'm going to run through some updates we've rolled out to our online proxy tester. The online proxy tester was launched around 3 months ago, and we've had really good feedback since launch. People like the feel of it, they like that they can test from global locations and get realistic latency data, but we wanted to continually improve it, and there was a few areas around debugging and error reporting that we felt that we could improve that no one else does in the industry. So I'm going to run through those upgrades with you now. So we're going to go to our Ping Proxies dashboard, we're going to create a proxy, and I'm just going to show you what a successful test looks like. So we're going to Wikipedia here, and fingers crossed this is successful. Yeah, there we go. So we see the exit IP address, well, we see that we're testing from the UK, we see our latency, and we see that this proxy is in Russia. But now if we hover over the stats code, we get this nice diagram. And this basically goes through what happens in a proxy connection. So our client device, which in this case is the proxy checker, was able to successfully communicate to the proxy server, and then that was able to communicate to the target website, which is Wikipedia, and a 200 response was returned throughout that connection. So now I'm going to kind of show you how it can be used in kind of error scenarios and debugging. So we'll go back here, we'll pick another proxy. And this time I'm going to change the password on the proxy so it fails. So here we go. So yeah, you'll see that fails pretty instantly, right? And if we check here, we now see we tested from London, but this time we've kind of got an error code, and it's a specific error code that we've passed to kind of human readable form. So proxy authentication required, and we run through what that actually means. So here the upstream proxy requires authentication, and we try to give you the solution to fix the problem. So in this case, it's pretty simple, right? Just correct your password, correct your username, maybe go speak to your proxy provider if you think those two are right, because something's going wrong at that auth stage. And in the diagram, we're able to illustrate that the connection fails between the client and the proxy server, not between the proxy server and the target website. So that's one scenario. I'm going to run through a few others now. Cool. So let's go to pingproxies.com. And then I'm just going to put in a random URL, and this should return a 404. So we should see the error kind of occur at a different stage in the connection. Cool. So we were able to connect to the proxy. That's why you see this IP address. We know it's in Russia. But this time, if I hover over the status code, I see that the connection failed not between the client and the proxy server, but this time between the proxy server and the target website. And we've got a human readable error code again, so not found. The requested resource was not found on the upstream. And then the solution, verify the URL, kind of make sure where you're going actually exists, because in this case, the target server is saying it isn't. So that's the other scenario. And basically, we have over 100 different error codes that we've passed to human readable format, both support for SOCKS, HTTP, and we kind of think customers should be able to use this really well for debugging problems before opening tickets, seeing where a connection breaks exactly, because a lot of proxy testers on the market, and our previous version was quite brittle. So you'd run 1,000 tests, you'd see maybe half of them failed, but why did they fail, and how can you solve the issue? A failure only gives you the kind of like part of the problem, and hopefully with this upgrade, we should help people be able to fix their solutions way quicker and identify the root cause. And the final thing I'm going to show you is how these error codes and reporting work when testing from multiple servers all over the world. So this time I'm going to generate 50 proxies. And we're going to go back to the proxy tester, and we're going to test from all locations. So what this does, rather than just picking the proxy test server that's closest to us, we're going to pick all locations, and that's going to run a test from San Francisco, from London, from New York, from Singapore, and return the results back to us. And within a few seconds, we should basically see, is this proxy working all over the world or not? Okay, so let's do that. Let's do Wikipedia again. Cool, so we're seeing a lot of successes. I see one failure here, which is good because we need that to demonstrate this. So let's take this. So we see that this proxy, it didn't work in Singapore for some reason, but it worked in San Francisco, London, and New York. And you'll see how the UI displays those tests. We see the proxy server test was like broadly successful across those three, but in Singapore we're having a problem for some reason. And in this case, it looks like we're hitting a 403 forbidden. So that could be on the proxy server, could be on the target server. So hopefully you can use that information to kind of fix the problem in a lot more detail. And it's really good for people that kind of running distributed networks, and maybe you're in London, but you've got a server in Singapore. How do you recreate what your server in Singapore is seeing and testing with a proxy? You can use this tool to simulate those worldwide requests. So that's the update. I'm really hoping you guys can get a lot of value out of it. We're going to be continually updating the proxy tester. I think we have Africa node coming online soon, so we're going to be doing proxy tests from Africa as well as kind of those Asia regions and US regions. And then I will think we're also adding UDP support. So thanks guys.